Hey guys, welcome to today's lesson. Today we'll be learning Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. This song is from 2003. It's a really great alternative rock song. I love teaching this to beginners because it's very easy to play. So even if you've been playing for a week, you'll be able to play this song. It's pretty amazing actually that you can make such a great song, such a huge international hit with by keeping it so simple. So let's have a look at what we'll be learning today. Alright, so that's an awesome song, and you'll see soon that it's very easy to play. So the main part of this song is actually played on an E minor scale. And just one more thing before we start. They originally played this in an open tuning, an open A tuning, but I am in standard tuning right now, so you don't need to mess around with your two tuning pegs. So they played it in an open tuning, and that way they also have a guitar slide that they're using throughout the song. Okay, but as I said, I'm using standard tuning, and we'll be able to recreate the song like this as well. So we're on the E minor scale, and we'll start off of the E note right here on the A string. And you'll also be muting the strings not muting, just dampening the strings by using palm muting back here, okay? So you'll want to put your palm right up against the bridge right there, so you get that muted sound. So this is your first note right here, and I'll just show you the riff. Very simple. 7, 10, 7, 5, 3, 2. And these are all notes from the E minor scale, okay? And of course, if you want, you can play it in one hand position right here. Pinky goes here to the 10th fret of the low E, middle finger on the 8th fret, and the first finger finishes on the 7th fret of the low E. Alright, good job. So it's pretty simple, as I said, and this really goes to show you don't need to be like Johnny Blazing Fingers to make an international super hit and become an international superstar with your music, okay? So that's the main riff of this song. Now let's head on into the next part of the song. Now as the pre-chorus starts, you would need a pedal to turn on the overdrive on your amp. But if you don't have a pedal, you don't really need a pedal, because I'm going to show you a guitar technique that will allow you to be able to switch in between a clean sound and a distorted sound just by flipping the pickup selector, okay? All you need to do to achieve this basically is to select one of the pickups that you'll be using for the cleaner sound and lower the volume of that pickup down to, I have it at around 2, because if it was up around 10, it would have that crunchy, distorted sound. But check this out. As you lower the volume of your pickup, it doesn't just lower the volume, it also lowers the gain that the amplifier is adding to it. And then when I switch to my other pickup, which is up at full volume, that gets all the distortion, okay? So that's just a neat little trick that I wanted to show you in case you don't have a pedal. And actually there's so many things that you can do with the volume and the tone knobs. You can achieve all types of sounds that you would otherwise need pedals for. Now let's move into our pre-chorus. So we'll have the G power chord. So that's the 3rd fret of the low E string and the the 5th fret of the A string. And you don't need palm muting anymore. Here you'll strum this 8 times. And then you'll move up 2 frets to the A power chord. This roots at the A note right here. So we have this so far in the pre-chorus. And if you wanted a bit fuller sounding power chord, then you could add the D string to the strings that you're strumming, so it'll sound like this. Okay, so you're just holding that down, holding the D string down with your ring finger as well, okay? Next, we'll move on into the chorus, and the chorus follows the same riff that we had originally, only we're under heavy distortion, and we'll be using power chords to move along the A string with the chorus. So it goes like this. Okay, so there's only one thing different about this riff, that in the second part, you go up, back to the 5th fret of the A string, then back to the 3rd fret, and then you finish there, okay? But otherwise it's the same. So basically you're just sliding those power chords along the notes that we already learned. Let's have it nice and slow. And if you're having trouble with that power chord slide right here, just make sure your fingers are really rigid as you're sliding, okay? You're going to keep the exact same finger position. You might need to practice that a bit, okay? Now let's try it up at full speed. All right, good job. So that's the main riff, and if you can play those, then you can actually play the entire song already. But of course, they have a few extra things. They have a few solo riffs that are very similar to the original riff. So this is the first one. Okay, so that's one, starting on the E note on the G string. And if you go up one more octave to the E note on the high E, they'll play this. And then you go back into the G power chord. So if you want, you can follow the tabs, but an even better exercise is just to make something up for yourself using these 4 notes basically, because that's all they're playing right there. And if you move up to this octave right here, those are basically all the notes that they're using, so you can make up whatever you like as long as it's in time, as long as it stays with the rhythm of the song, okay? Or anything that you like, actually. Now, as I mentioned, they play this part of the song with a guitar slide, and that's why you can sort of hear those off-tune notes that they're picking. But don't worry about that, you can play this song just fine with your fingers as well. So that's the entire song, actually. I hope you had fun. Make sure you practice it a lot, and if you go up to TheGuitarLesson.com, you go up to the lesson page, you'll be able to download the tabs to this song, where I'll show you where you need to play each section of the song and give an order, okay? So let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I guess I'll see you in the next lesson then. Bye. How does it go? Right. Let's start this solo bit again. Crap, tone. I have to cut that out. Oh, come on. That went well. All right.